I took a sip of my coffee and nearly choked. The letter wasn't a bill, it wasn't a tax notice. No, it was something far worse. According to the crisp, official-looking document, my 50-acre ranch, the same land my grandfather broke his back building, the same land I poured my blood, sweat, and beer money into, was no longer entirely mine. Apparently, some HOA I'd never joined had decided unilaterally that my ranch was now community land. I laughed. I had to. Right up until I hit the line that read, "Effective immediately, all fences, barriers, or private property signage must be removed in accordance with HOA guidelines." That's when my coffee mug shattered on the floor and a slow, hot rage settled in my chest. An hour later, a tan sedan crept up my driveway like it owned the place. The HOA logo on the door was almost too ridiculous to be real. Out stepped Margaret Dawson, middle-aged, tightly wound, and stuffed into a blazer 3 sizes too small. Clipboard in hand, she strutted toward me like she expected applause. "Mr. Monroe," she cooed, "you received our notice about the community land designation. We'd like to discuss next steps." I folded my arms and said nothing. The silence stretched until she squirmed. Finally, I spoke. "Yeah, I got a next step. It's called trespassing laws." She chuckled, the condescending kind only people who'd never been punched in the face can manage. "There's a misunderstanding. Your ranch has historically been open to the community. The board voted unanimously to bring it into the HOA. I cut her off. "The only thing this land has historically been used for is ranching, and you don't have jurisdiction." "Oh, but we do now," she said with a sugar-sweet smile. Before I could laugh again, a silver SUV rolled up. Out spilled a family. 2 parents, 2 kids, a golden retriever, heading toward my pasture like they were at a public park. "What do you think you're doing?" I shouted. "The HOA said this land's open now," the dad said, tossing a frisbee to his son. "Figured we'd check it out." Margaret put a hand on my shoulder, like we were friends. "See, this is what community looks like." I shrugged her off. "This isn't their space, it's my land." "Buddy, no need to be rude," the dad muttered. I was about 3 seconds from filling his golf shoes with manure when more cars pulled up. People, picnics, grills, like I'd invited them to a barbecue. My ranch was under siege. I turned to Margaret. "Get them off my land, now." She blinked, mock innocent. "Jack, there's no need for hostility. If we all—" I stepped in close. "Margaret, I swear on my granddaddy's grave, if you don't leave right now, I'll escort you off this property with—" 20 minutes later, I was in my lawyer Curtis McGraw's office. He listened, nodded, and chewed on his pen. "Ah, the classic HOA land grab," he said. "They don't have legal grounds. They're just betting you'll roll over." So how do we stop them?" He grinned. "We fight dirty." I leaned forward. "I'm listening." "First, make the land unusable for the public. Fences, cameras, signs, maybe even a legal electric fence. And then, we hit back harder." The next morning, I was at the county records office. Just as I thought, my land was never under HOA jurisdiction. Margaret had filed a bogus annexation using some obscure community development clause. Total fiction, but dangerous fiction if left unchallenged. That afternoon, I walked into the HOA office and dropped a fat folder on Margaret's desk. "What's this?" she asked. "A bill," I said. She flipped it open. Inside, 20 years of backdated HOA fees, over $200,000, for land she claimed was part of their jurisdiction. Her face went pale. "You're insane." "No, I'm just applying your logic. Either pay the fees or we take this to court. And trust me, a judge is going to love what you tried to pull." By sunset, I'd reinforced my fences with industrial-grade wiring, installed motion sensors, floodlights, and yes, electric fencing. Legal, non-lethal, and highly motivational. The next day, Margaret showed up at the gate, flanked by her henchmen. "This is a violation of HOA regulations," she snapped. "I don't remember joining your HOA." "These fences are dangerous." "So is trespassing." She glared at the giant LED sign, blinking behind me. "Warning, Trespassers will be zapped. You're out of control. No, I'm in full control. That weekend, the HOA pushed back, hosting a community picnic on my land. I watched from the porch, sipping a beer, as kids chased kites and someone set up a volleyball net. Then the fun started. An oblivious jogger ran into the electric fence. Zap! Down he went. A kid kicked a soccer ball into it. Zap! Pure chaos. People screamed, dogs barked. It was beautiful. Margaret stormed up, furious. This is illegal! Nope, I said, grinning. Checked. Non-lethal, county approved. She turned purple. You're a menace! Nope, just a landowner. Something you seem to have forgotten. Next day, I got a cease and desist from the HOA. Curtis laughed so hard he nearly fell out of his chair. They think they can demand you take down the fence? He wrote a counter letter making it clear. If they claimed my land, they were responsible for its upkeep, including security, fencing, insurance, and taxes, all of which totaled a sum so massive it would triple every homeowner's fees. That emergency meeting Margaret called, I wasn't invited. Didn't need to be. Word spread fast. The HOA was imploding. Homeowners were livid. People who once sang Margaret's praises now wanted her gone. Mr. Wills, a respected elder, stood up. Margaret, under your leadership, this HOA turned into a dictatorship. You overreached, lied, cost us thousands. Others joined in. You told us Monroe's land was legally ours. My family's paying $5,000 more this year, thanks to you. Margaret tried to defend herself. I stood up. She tried to steal my land, I said calmly. She forced my property into HOA jurisdiction. You know what that means? I held up my hand. I get a vote. The room went silent. When the vote came, it wasn't even close. Margaret was ousted. A week later, I watched her pack up a moving truck. She was gone. That evening, a few nervous board members knocked on my door. We need a new president, one said. Someone strong, someone honest. Not interested. But if you become president, a woman added, you could dissolve the HOA entirely. No more fees, no more overreach. I paused. You had me at dissolve. A week later, by unanimous vote, the HOA was gone. No more rules about lawn length or mailbox color. No more power trips. Just neighbors managing their own land. To celebrate, I hosted the biggest barbecue the ranch had ever seen. Brisket, beer, laughter. Curtis showed up, plate in hand. You actually did it, he said. You destroyed an HOA. Told you I'd fight dirty. What now? I looked out over my land. Secure, quiet, mine again. Oh, I'll think of something. And with that, I raised my beer as the sun dipped behind my fences. Tall, shining, and completely untouchable.